So there's some other output commands that are useful. And again, I'm worried about output commands for now just to frankly, well, display your information. Again, this is only just day one really of Scheme. And that is the new line character, which I think you've seen already. That just prints a new line, just like the \n. You have your format, and your format, well, it's very similar you see in Python placeholder syntax. If you wanted to make it certain decimal points and stuff like that. The only bad part, I know there's only some flavors that have this feature, so whatever flavor that you have, you better double check the API. Do a Control F and see if there's a format, and then you know. Very simple. And then there's several other output commands that are exactly the same. So when you're online and looking at things, display, write, and print are usually all three exactly the same thing. It's frankly just, us older people, we've had different commands. We might pick one of the three just because we've been using that. But they do exactly the same thing. So be careful with your overall displays, and here's some more options that might be helpful in the long run. I wanted to go over what I meant by the Control F. So what you see right now is I'm at the documentation for Gambit Scheme, and I wasn't sure if they had a printf function or not. So you notice the documentation, yeah, there's links, but there's anchors, and that's very consistent with a lot of the other flavors of Scheme, like Dr. Racket, stuff like that. They may be a little bit more broken up, but still, the Control F is the best friend for you if you're trying to find a particular function that you think the flavor might have. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Control F, hit print F. That's what I wanted to double check. Hit enter. And yeah, there's two versions, but you know what? I'm looking at it, so make sure you look at it too. The printf looks pretty similar to the display that you and I are using. So I don't think that's the same printf. And notice they only show two examples, and this is where they would put all the examples in to show you different variations, or they would go to a function header, kind of like in Java API, to show you what other options you have. They're not showing anything. So it looks pretty iffy that GIF has the printf with variables inside of it. It's got a printf function, but not the one we want. So use the printf in your documentation as your friend.